Hey there, welcome back to training. What I'm going to do in this lesson is show you how ChatGPT custom assistants had a tangible effect on my trajectory as a technical trainer, and that will become manifestly clear in just a few minutes. For now, I'm here in my ChatGPT account. You do have to be on a paid plan in order to create custom assistants. First, let me set the stage. My thought was, you know something? As a tech trainer, I have a large volume of feedback from my learners in various forms. What if I were to train a custom assistant, parse through all that feedback, and give me results in a way that I can understand? Does that make sense? So in ChatGPT, again, as long as you're in the paid plan, you can go to Explore GPTs to go to the gallery, go to My GPTs just to get to your assistant. But what I did is I went to Create, and then I filled out the configure. Now I'm going to step back and show you the actual bot that I created with, for privacy, some stuff blurred. I called it Feedback Bot, and I describe it as an assistant that provides me with clear, actionable, professional feedback in formats he can absorb the best. So let's edit the GPT's definition. I'd suggest that you start with a really punchy name. If you've used GitHub Copilot and you're a programmer, you know that you want all of your tokens and objects, functions, classes, etc. to have very clear descriptive names to help the AI infer. Same thing here. You'll notice that even creating the icon, this is such a cute icon. I had DALL-E generate that for me based on my completed instructions. So the instructions, I'm not going to show everything here because it's private. But I'll read the front part of it that says you're a master instructional designer, tech trainer, public speaker, coach. I'm going to upload as many of my evaluations in as many forms as possible. And then I go on to say, I'm going to scroll down now, what my particular challenges are and all that. I don't want to go into details, no necessarily. But the bottom line is the system message, these instructions, are making sure to outline not only what I want the bot to do, but also how I want it to give me the feedback. I want it tailored in a way that'll make it as easy as possible for me to actually do something about it. You see what I'm saying? Lastly, let me scroll down one more time. And most importantly, I've begun to upload knowledge. In fact, I used a combination of Python and the Google APIs, which are all available if you have a Google account. Now, I'm not sure the details as far as if you have to have a certain level of paid account. I have so many add-ons to my Google ID, who knows what I've got. But I used the Google APIs with Python to grab all of the comments over history in my YouTube channel. I also used Python to go through my email archive to strip away the Excel worksheets that contained learner reviews and parse those all in. Enormously valuable stuff here. So to that point, you'll want to make sure under capabilities, you're enabling the bot to get out onto the web, get into the Bing search index to get as current information as possible. And also the code interpreter and data analysis is critical as well, because that's a Python VM or Docker container that will be provisioned for you that ChatGPT will use and run data analysis and can run code in the cloud. So I just habitually have all three of those capabilities lit up, and you can actually call additional APIs by going into actions. In fact, I'll need to explain that on my YouTube channel before too long. So how I used this bot yesterday, I was a little nervous to get started with it, to be really vulnerable and candid. Let me bring up the conversation from yesterday. All right, and in the name of radical vulnerability, I will show you the actual prompt I used. Let me read it. Based on studying all the feedback in your knowledge and via Bing, please pick one instructional design, teaching, presenting idea, suggestion, tip, etc. that you think I could benefit from most rapidly. Please know I struggle with not taking feedback personally, so don't give me anything specific, don't in terms of numbers in particular. Just give me qualitative skill. In fact, I wanted one and only one. I didn't want an overwhelm. Give me one skill that I can build with that will make me a better professional. Isn't that great? Remember, just one attainable idea by now. And this is what came back: active learning. And For me, this was an enormous light bulb moment because the truth of the matter was, and scales fell from my eyes, insert cliche here, I realized that I had fallen into a rut, at least since COVID, when all training became, all live training de facto became live online training. Maybe not so much in those contexts, but definitely the work I do with pre-recorded video training. I had fallen into a rut of just lecturing. And so there must have been a thread in that volume of feedback so far to that point. It'd be nice to have the learners more actively engaged. Now, that's been something that's in the periphery. I'm semi-ashamed to say that it's only made it to the periphery of my conscious mind over the last years, in particular the last year. So it's something that was on my workbench to develop more active learning stuff. And believe it or not, this is going back probably 8 months or so, 6-8 months. I did a trial with Mentimeter.com because that's just what I stumbled upon. And look at this. This is purely coincidental. The way that ChatGPT is suggesting that I implement active learning as a teacher, given what it knows about my formats, that 99% of my work is either live online or live recorded, it actually recommends right here. I recommend using Mentimeter. When you're prompting generative AI, don't be afraid to ask it to give an opinion. Now, if you don't ask it specifically, it will, I'm not going to say it's going to waffle, but in its effort to make you happy, and we have to always remember that OpenAI has a profit motive. They want their AI to delight their customers, just like Microsoft wants Word and PowerPoint users to be delighted, you see? So, I mean, I always think of that as well and take that into my calculus. But Mentimeter, and this is not a plug or anything, probably I will do a plug on them because so far I'm really jazzed with it. But I'm going to start using this in my live training. And what's cool about it is it allows me to do things like polls, what do you want to learn next, what's this, what's that, all of the questions that I ask when I'm live in person in a room with learners. You might already know about this. My daughter Zoe used Kahoot and a bunch of other similar software as a service products in school, so I realize I'm late to the party here. But better late than never. So I'm actually going to try it this week in class, in which I'll say, optionally, if you want to join and do this, all you have to do is go to menti.com and put in the code. You don't need an app. There's no login or sign up from a learner standpoint. I'm wondering if some of my learners and clients may push back because of security, especially government and that kind of stuff, and that's fine. I imagine I'm going to have this as my default. I'll always disclose to a client on the front end, and if they opt not to use it, then of course I won't, you know. But anyway, I'm hoping that this will have many benefits, and this new path I'm on here with active learning and implementing this Mentimeter came to me via this technique of training an AI bot. Now, you could, as a skeptic, say, well, Tim, you just said you came to the same conclusion about Mentimeter 8 months ago, and you've had active learning on your back burner for a long time. So did the AI give me anything new? Well, yes and no. I mean, no, technically, because of what we've already talked about. But yes, in as much that sufficiently inspired me to actually develop critical mass and implement this in my life. Whereas 8 months ago, 6 months ago, because it was on the cognitive back burner. I hope that you enjoyed this lesson. I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.